Good morning and welcome to today's edition of Good Morning Hebrew Home. I am your host for Friday, Liisa Murray, and today is actually my first day in this new studio. Yeah, I'm so excited. It feels like it's been a while since I've seen you all in this way, and I'm so happy that we get to be together again. Today is Friday, March 11th. The weather today is going to be a high of 63. We've been having some really lovely days this week, and I hope you get a chance to maybe open a window, peek your head outside, maybe even go sit out on the great lawn. That would be lovely. It's going to be mostly cloudy and clear skies alternating today, and winds up to 10 miles per hour. However, it will get very windy tonight, so make sure you're indoors before it gets really windy at 8 p.m. On this day in history, in 1642, I'm going back for this one, Abel Tasman is the first European to sight New Zealand, viewing the northwest coast of the South Island. Now, you know I have a soft spot in my heart for New Zealand, so I had to bring that one up. In 1894, Coca-Cola is sold in bottles for the first time in a candy store in Vicksburg, Mississippi. In 1912, the Girl Guides, also known now as the Girl Scouts, forms in Savannah by Juliette Gordon Low. And later on in the show, we're going to talk a little bit more about the Girl Scouts, as I was a former Girl Scout myself. In 1912, the Helen Hayes Theater, the Little Theater, opens at 240 West 44th Street in New York City. In 1933, FDR conducts his first fireside chat. I wonder if any of you were able to remember those live or either just the memories of. And then going forward to 1981, Stephen Sondheim's musical Marry Me a Little premieres in New York City. I'm a big Sondheim fan. In 1985, Larry Bird scores Boston Celtics record 60 points. In 1987, speaking of wonderful musicals, Les Miserables opens at the Broadway Imperial Theater in New York City, also known as Les Mis. A huge musical, a wonderful musical, and it ran for over 4,000 performances. Can you imagine? A little bit later, we'll talk some more about Les Mis, and what our guest for the show today is going to sing a song from Les Mis. So today is National Girl Scout Day. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the Girl Scouts. I've got a little presentation for you. I actually was a Girl Scout for a few years when I was younger. I was a Girl Scout all the way up to senior Girl Scouts. I was trying to find actually a picture to bring you of my Girl Scout, my illustrious Girl Scout career, but I couldn't find any pictures of me actually in the Girl Scout uniform. I guess maybe by the 90s they were a little more, casual or something. So we'll go to our little PowerPoint that I've put together about the Girl Scouts of America. So for the first thing I wanted to talk about was the founder, Juliette Gordon Low. An educator and a humanitarian, Juliette Gordon Low made history as the founder of the Girl Scouts of the USA, the largest organization for girls in the world. Low earned the nickname Daisy at an early age and quickly became known for her stubborn but charismatic spirit. In her youth, Low developed a passion for the arts and often painted, performed plays, sketched, and wrote poetry. In 1911, while in England, Low began a close friendship with Sir Robert Baden-Powell, founder of the Boy Scouts and the Girl Guides in the UK. Lowe quickly became interested in the Girl Guides program, believing that girls should be given the opportunity to develop physically, mentally, and spiritually outside of isolated home environments. She returned to Savannah, Georgia, and on March 12, 1912, held a meeting to register 18 girls as members of the American Girl Guides. In 1913, the name of the organization was changed to Girl Scouts, and in 1915, the Girl Scouts of the USA was incorporated. Lowe served as the organization's first president and gave freely of her own money in the early years. So let's take a look at Girl Scouts throughout the years. We've got a lovely picture here. I love this. This is the Girl Scouts with Teddy Roosevelt handing in metal to be smelted down. In the midst of the Progressive Era, and as the nation was expanding by adding the states of New Mexico and Arizona, but before women had the right to vote, Juliette Gordon Lowe founded the Girl Scouts in 1912 with an emphasis on inclusiveness, the outdoors, self-reliance, and service. Great. And then our next picture you'll see in the 1920s. Girl Scouting continued to expand its reach to more and more girls, with the first Girl Scout troops launching outside the United States in China, Syria, and Mexico. Additionally, one of the earliest Native American Girl Scout troops formed on the Onondaga Reservation in New York State, New York, in 1921, and Mexican American girls formed a Girl Scout troop in Houston, Texas in 1922. Lone troops on foreign soil, later called USA Girl Scouts Overseas, registered its first Girl Scout troop in Shanghai, China, with 18 girls in 1925. I had no idea about that. Moving on to the 1930s. This is an ad from a pamphlet about like healthy eating and helping your sisters in the 1930s. So in the 1930s, with the United States consumed by the Great Depression, Girl Scouts participated in relief efforts by collecting clothing and food for those in need. And as the country continued to deal with the waves of immigration from the previous decade, Girl Scouts began printing its Who Are the Girl Scouts? Promotional booklet in Yiddish, Italian, and Polish. I wonder if any of you saw any of those pamphlets. And this dedication to service is definitely something that the Girl Scouts continues today. Moving on to the 1940s, there they are with FDR. I love these old uniforms too. You can see that they've got, as they got older, they had the sashes and they had the vests with the badges on them. But you can see they have them sort of on these bell sleeves on them. I think that's so cool. During World War II, Girl Scouts interested in flying participated in the Wing Scouts program. Girl Scout troops also operated bicycle courier services, ran farm aid projects, collected fat and scrap metal, and grew victory gardens, as well as sponsored defense institutes that taught women survival skills and techniques for comforting children during air raids. Japanese American girls confined to internment camps in Utah and California also established troops. I think that's amazing what the Girl Scouts are able to do. And in the 1950s, oh, look at those happy smiling Girl Scouts. Girl Scouts responded to the Korean War by assembling kits for Korea, pouches of items needed by Korean citizens, and also continued to press issues of inclusiveness and equality, with Ebony magazine reporting that in 1952, even in the South, Scouts were making slow and steady progress towards surmounting the racial barriers of the region. That's something I've always loved about the Girl Scouts, is that they're always trying to do good and they're trying to help people and make a difference. So moving on to the 60s, during this tumultuous and vibrant decade, Girl Scouts held Speak Out conferences around the country to lend their voices to the fight for racial equality, launched the Action 70 project to help overcome prejudice and build better relationships between people, and viewed the Apollo 12 moon landing at Cape Kennedy, Florida, as guests of NASA. Very, very cool. Can you imagine getting to be a guest of NASA? Look at these serious Girl Scouts making a difference. I love it. Then in the 70s, ooh, look at this. And we're seeing these sashes now that we know a little bit better. During this period, Girl Scouts elected its first African-American National Board president, Gloria D. Scott. They stood up for environmental issues by launching the National Eco Action Program and helped Vietnamese refugee children adapt to their new homes in America. Girl Scouts doing good. And in the 1980s, so this is where, you know, that could be me, one of the brownies right there in the 80s. This is when I started becoming a Girl Scout. Girl Scouts established the Daisy level for kindergarten-age girls as interest in Girl Scouting expanded, and also distributed the Contemporary Issues series that addressed some of the most serious issues teen girls of the day were confronting, including drug use, child abuse, and teen pregnancy. That's another thing I really love about the Girl Scouts. They're not afraid, you know, to confront issues that the Girl Scouts are dealing with, that girls are dealing with. And in the 90s, this is really my heyday of Girl Scouting. Amid the explosive growth of personal computers, Girl Scouts introduced the technology badge for Girl Scout juniors, while also tackling illiteracy with the Right to Read service project, which nearly 4 million Girl Scouts and leaders participated in. I participated in that. It was a lot of, you know, like reading and encouraging other people to read and doing like book drives and stuff together. And our last slide, the Girl Scouts entered the first decade of the new millennium, focused on the healthy development of girls, establishing the Girl Scout Research Institute to conduct studies and report findings. They also continued to emphasize inclusiveness by hosting a national conference on Latinas in Girl Scouting, and in 2005, electing the first Hispanic woman as chair of the national board, Patricia Diaz-Dennis. What a wonderful, wonderful experience I had in Girl Scouts of America, and I wonder if any of the women here were Girl Scouts when you were younger. Were you Girl Scouts in the 30s or the 40s or the 50s? I personally, even if you don't want to tell the show, would love to hear about your experience as a Girl Scout. So if you've been a Girl Scout, if you were maybe a Girl Scout troop leader, you can always call in, leave a voicemail, 2813, or if you see me walking around here, please let me know. I would love to hear about it. So famous birthdays. In 1922, on this day, Jack Kerouac, American beat writer, best known for On the Road, was born in Lowell, Massachusetts. Big star, one of my favorites, in 1946, Liza Minnelli, American singer-actress, daughter of Judy Garland, best known for Cabaret, or Liza with a Z, born in Hollywood, California. And in sports in 1962, on this day, Darryl Strawberry, American MLB right fielder and 8-time All-Star, was born in Los Angeles, California. So we're going from famous birthdays, we're coming to birthdays a little closer to home. In staff today, happy birthday Darwin from Plant Operations, Alva from Nursing, and Elena from the Museum. Tomorrow, Lorraine from Medical, Lydia and Donna from Nursing, and Lily from CDR are celebrating their birthdays. And Sunday, Esther from Housekeeping. A big happy birthday to all of you. In resident birthdays today, Suko S., Saturday, Elma B., Gladys V., and Sunday, Grace G. A big happy birthday from all of us here at the Hebrew Home. So, turning to meals, let's talk a little bit about what's on the menu. So today's lunch, a lox and cream cheese bagel with carrots and raisin salad with vanilla cream cookies for dessert. Tonight, the dinner will be cream of spinach soup, Salisbury steak, oven roasted potatoes, and green beans with a blueberry crumb cake for dessert. That sounds good. That sounds like something I should make this weekend. For lunch on Saturday, Tuscan chicken, garlic mashed potatoes, broccoli florets, and dessert pears. For dinner, cream of squash soup, stuffed shells with California blend vegetables, and strawberry ice cream for dessert. And on Sunday, one of my favorite Sunday lunches I get to read, oven fried chicken, sweet potatoes and cauliflower with a chocolate chip cookie for dessert. And for dinner, split pea soup with blueberry blint souffle, baked apple slices, and for dessert, rice pudding. I actually made rice pudding for the first time the other week, and it was quite good. I need a lot more milk than I thought I needed, though. So I am very excited for our guest today. He is best known as perhaps one of the musical stars of the Hebrew Home, our very own Larry Applewhite. Welcome.
Hi, Lisa, thank you for having me.
Of course.
I'm happy
so
to be
excited.
Here.
So, you know, people are used to at this point seeing you on their TVs. You do concerts. You used to do concerts in the Winter Garden, and now we've brought it over to the television. How has it been in the new studio for you?
It's great. I'm really enjoying it so much. There's an intimacy in this room.
Yeah.
I feel even closer to the residents because the camera's closer.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but I'm having a really great time each Wednesday, sharing the music with everybody. So I'm really happy to be doing that.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Wonderful. I know the residents really, really love getting to see you any way they can, in person or on TV. Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
So I know you prepared some songs for us. We were talking earlier on about Les Miserables. Did you ever see Les Mis?
I saw it on Broadway. Yeah. I didn't see the film, but I read the book. In English, it's very good.
Ooh.
The book it's very long, but it's a great story.
Yes.
And it's reasonably easy to read. It's not really difficult, so
that's wonderful.
I recommend it.
Did you see any of the stars or any notable people when you saw Les Mis on Broadway?
No, I don't recall.
Because it was on for so long.
It was
there
on,
were,
yeah.
There were years when there were big stars. When I went to see it, I went on my birthday, not too many, well, probably 10 years ago now. But Lea Salonga was supposed to be in it, but she was out that day. And it was her understudy, who was still wonderful, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to see a show on Broadway. There's no duds, but I was really excited. I'm a huge Lea Salonga fan, so that was a bummer. But someday.
Yeah, someday.
Someday I'll see her. Yeah. What are some of your favorite songs from Les Mis?
Well, I like I Dreamed a Dream.
Oh.
And
a little birdie told me that you brought that to perform today.
Yes. I'm very excited about singing it for you.
All right. Well, without further ado, I think let's hear Larry Applewhite singing I Dreamed a Dream.
I dreamed a dream in time gone by, when hope was high and life worth living. I dreamed that love would never die. I dreamed that God would be forgiving. Then I was young and unafraid, and dreams were made and used and wasted. No song, there was no ransom to be paid. No song unsung, no wine untasted. But the tigers come at night, with their voices soft as thunder, and as they tear your hope apart, as they turn your dreams to shame. She slept a summer by my side. She filled my days with endless wonder. She took my childhood in her stride, but she was gone when autumn came. And still I dream she'll come to me, that we will live the years together. But there are dreams that cannot be, and there are storms that we cannot weather. I had a dream my life would be so different from this hell I'm living, so different now from what it seemed. Now life has killed the dream I dreamed. Now life has killed the dream I dreamed.
Yeah! wonderful. Oh, I love that song. Allison and I were over, swaying, mouthing the words off camera. That was great. Oh, what a beautiful song. Powerful, too.
Yes,
powerful song.
It's a great song.
And speaking of powerful songs, in addition to being a performer, Larry is also a songwriter. We get to hear him every morning singing our Good Morning Hebrew Home theme, but that's not the only song that you've written, isn't that right?
Right.
Yeah.
I want to tell you just a little bit about this song. It was,
please do.
Christmas Day of last year, I was working here, and I was in the staff cafeteria where the food service area is, and Mr. Reingold was here, and he was wishing everyone a happy holiday, wishing everybody well, and he was mentioning to some of the people how important it was to get the vaccine, and how safe it was and how important it was. And I was there and I heard it, and I kind of chimed in. I said, yeah, I had my vaccination. It was great. And then as Mr. Reingold passed me, he thanked me for my support. And he just, as he was walking out, he just casually said, why don't you write a song about it? So, and then he was off on his way.
He just left you a seed, and he went, oh,
right, exactly.
I'll grow that tree.
Yeah, right, exactly. So right away, the wheels are turning, and I thought to myself, well, if I write a song about trying to get vaccinated, I don't want to use the word vaccine in the lyric, obviously.
I mean, also, that's hard to rhyme. Like, what rhymes with vaccine?
Maxine.
Maxine. Oh, Maxine getting her vaccine. That's a different song. Well, that's the seed of an idea for later.
All right, okay.
That's great. I think also, yesterday we commemorated 1 year of the pandemic and had a beautiful moment outside with Mr. Reingold and so many of the staff and thinking about, part of the reason we did this show is to try and bring some lightness during a hard, heavy time. And I hope that that's something that we've really done for all of you. But I think that, it's also important to acknowledge the big steps that we've made, the wonderful work that all of our staff have done here. I'm constantly inspired every day I come to work. And the achievements of getting this vaccine and how important that is to us finally moving forward and away from COVID. I know so many of you watching have gotten your vaccine already. But tell us a little bit about what this song is about.
Well, I wanted it to be a song about hope and encouragement so that it just expands it a little bit greater in that way.
Yeah.
And so the name of the song is called Take One Step.
I love
Don't be
that.
afraid, take one step.
Well, wonderful. Here with Take One Step, again, is our very own Larry Applewhite.
Thank you. Thanks, Lisa.
Of course.
Don't be afraid, be strong. The time to heal will not be long. The courage you need will find you. Don't worry, I'm right here behind you. Take one step and the chance is finally taken. Take one step and you're on your way. Take one step and your dreams can now awaken. Start today by taking just one step. Now is the time, my friend. Faith can make all suffering end. The courage you need will find you. Don't worry, I'm right here behind you. Take one step and the chance is finally taken. Take one step and you're on your way. Take one step and your dreams can now awaken. Start today by taking just one step. Listen to your heart and you will know the time is now. So on you go, on you go. Take one step and the chance is finally taken. Take one step and you're on your way. Take one step and your dreams can now awaken. Start today by taking just one step.
Oh, wonderful, Larry.
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you so much for the opportunity for me to come onto your show and to share the music with you and all the residents and family and everybody.
Such a beautiful song. I
Thank
really
you.
love it. Thank you so much for being here and sharing your gift and skill and inspiration with all of us.
Thank you so much, Lisa.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Well, we're coming to the end of our show. Before we go, tune in later today for Catholic services at 11:15 and Shabbat Shalom at 3 p.m. There's also a Broadway matinee at 2 p.m. on Channel 88. Please tune in for that. I can't remember which one it is. I apologize. I'm so overwhelmed by Larry's music. If you've missed any portion of today's show, it will be replayed on Channel 88 at 6:30, and you can find all of our episodes on YouTube. We here at Good Morning Hebrew Home wish a wonderful weekend to all of you, and we will see you again Monday morning.